Hello everyone, this is V. Manikyala Rao, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of CSC and ML in BVRIT Nasapur. Now today we have to discuss about how to analyze the clusters. I will show you how to analyze the clusters based on the given data set. So I taken some example here. Actually this cluster analysis belongs to the part of unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning means it contains only unlabeled data. So see here I taken unlabeled data with the different properties of things we are taken, and based on the interpretation and the algorithms, they need to divide that one into individual parts. And how they are dividing means they are using the algorithms, clustering algorithms. Based on that clustering algorithms, they need to divide that one into individual things based on that clusters, and that algorithms is used to find out based on the patterns or the features of the given items. They need to divide that one into clusters. So based on the sizes and the color of the given thing, they need to analyze this one and they will place into the individual clusters. So these three, this size and this size will be same, and the property size, fit, everything will be same based on the properties. That's why we are placing into the cluster 1. Similarly, these properties, 3 properties, features are to be same. We need to place in the cluster 2. By applying different types of algorithms, we need to do those type of things. Now coming to this one and this one. Based on the sizes and the properties of the given items, we need to place that one into the cluster 3. That is about cluster analysis. Based on given algorithms, we need to divide that one into based on the patterns and the analysis of the given things and properties of the given items. We need to divide that one into clusters. That is about cluster analysis. We need to analyze the clusters and place in the individual clusters. Actually, cluster means the group of similar items is to be placed in a single cluster. So the group of similar items is placed in a single cluster is called as cluster analysis. That is about the cluster analysis. So for this cluster analysis and where we are using this cluster analysis means we are using this one as a customer segmentation. Actually, customer segmentation means, for example, we are having different types of customers, C1, C2, C3, different types of customers are there. So how we are dividing that one into segments means the given customer, for example, the given customers purchasing 1000, this per 10,000, and this one some 15,000 they are purchasing. Within that given range, segments, how we are dividing into segments means we will take the 1000 to 10,000 range is to be placed in one segment. So within this, whatever the members are to be there, that is belongs to cluster 1. And after that, another range we need to take. Based on that, we need to divide that one into segments, just like parts. Project categorization. Project categorization means just like we will take the example for software. So in the projects, they need to divide that one into testing, next developing, designing. These all our categories are divided based on the software projects. So first we need to design and then develop, then we have to do the test. After doing the testing only, we need to release the product or project to the given members. That is project categorization. Image recognition. Image recognition means based on the features and the properties of the given image, we need to identify the given person is a sad person, image is a sad image, or happy image, or anger image. We need to recognize those type of things also in the cluster analysis. And given web search. So in the web search, how we are using cluster analysis means whenever we are searching some word, for example, in the web search, I am searching data mining. I am searching the word as data mining in this. This data mining related words and the contents, architectures, everything will be displayed. So based on that content, we need to identify what content is to be relevant to me and place that content in one cluster, one document. And other than content, we need to place in one document, just like C1 and C2 clusters. The relevant documents, somewhat relevant document is to be placed in C1, some irrelevant, and that is somewhat is to be related to the data mining, we need to place into the C2. That is web search. Outlier detection means just like outliers means, for example, we are having 3 members are there. We will take the example for this. 3 members. This person is purchasing 10, this person is purchasing 20, and this person is purchasing 200. Actually, this person purchasing only 30, but by mistake they are typing this 30 into 200. So this outer type of value, so this 200 means this is not near to 10 and this is not near to 20. So this type of things is called it as outliers, out of the value, out of boundary or out of the region value. We need to take that as outlier detections. Now, what are the requirements to implement the effective clustering means? First one, scalability. That means it is used to take large amount of data and we need to analyze that one in the scalable format. Then what are the different types of data is to be implemented to implement the effective clustering concept. Next, noise handling. Is there any noise or any inconsistent data or any missing data is there? That type of things is to be removed from the structure. Then constraint handling. Constraint handling means they need to handle some of the rules. Based on that rules, whether the given condition is to satisfy that rule or not, whether they satisfy the rule, they need to keep into our constraint. Otherwise, we have to remove that constraint or rule from the given structure. That is about it is used to implement the effective customer cluster analysis. Now, what are the different types of data used in the clusters? So, we are having mainly two types of data, qualitative data and quantitative data. Qualitative data means it contains only categorical data. So, they are having some categories. Categories means within that group, just like some male, female, other. Only that type of information is there, male. Nominal data and ordinal data. So, actually here nominal data means the data is not in ordered format. Whatever the order they are framing, in that they need to take. For example, the nominal data is in unordered format, just like I'll take dog, some cat, like this. These don't want to follow the order. In any way, the values will be placed, and within that category, we need to choose and we need to select that values. That is nominal data. Ordinal data. Ordinal data means they need to follow the order. Just like they will use that categories, just like colors, some green, then red. In order wise, they need to take in the ordinal data. That is the ordinal data. Coming to quantitative data. Quantitative data means it contains continuous data. The data is in the form of numerics or numbers. That is qualitative data, quantitative data. So it contains two types of things, discrete data and continuous data. Discrete data means the data will be differentiated from one thing to another thing. That is discrete data values. Continuous data values means continuously the values will be increased like this. So see here in the discrete values, just like for example, I taken at the age of 20 to 30, that is younger age. Within that range, for that range, what we need to analyze, this is the age and this person status, property. Discretization, we are discretizing for this range persons, all are belongs to younger. That is discretization. Next one, continuous. Continuous data means we are having two types, interval and ratio. Interval means within that range. For example, if they are given the range 0 to some 10. For example, they are given 0 to 10. So, with that interval only, they need to choose and they need to implement that values. In case of ratio means that will be divided by numerical integer value. So, like this, how that ratio will be divided means, for example, if you are purchasing weight of 4 kgs and that is to be divisible of 2. Compulsory that is will be divisible of 2. Interval means just like for example, if you are car parking, if you have to take the example for car parking. So, in the car parking, what they are taking? So, we need to consider that as a 1, 2, 3 like this only. They may be 1 car, 2 car or 3 cars are to be there. They don't want to take that is a 1.5 car parking like this. This type of things will not be allowed in the interval part. They will allow only the integer numbers like this car parking. That is about the different types of data used in the cluster analysis. In this, the clustering methods, we are having different types of clustering methods are there. Based on these clustering algorithms, we need to analyze and find out the unlabeled data, and that is to be placed in the form of clusters. Now see here, one of the cluster method is partitioning algorithm. The name itself, the property and the meaning is to be there. Partitioning means we need to divide that one into individual parts. Based on that algorithm and steps, we need to place in the form of clusters. So K means clustering algorithm. So K means clustering algorithm means it is used to find out the nearest neighbor values. Whenever we reach with the nearest neighbor values, we need to place that values and stop the process at that time they reach with the nearest point values. Now see here, first we need to take K cluster centroid points randomly. So for example, I taken the cluster centroid points are, they are taken, the cluster centroid points are 4. The cluster centroid points are 4 we are taking. So for each data point, we need to find out the nearest centroid points. How we are calculating the nearest centroid points? Based on the distance, Euclidean distance. Square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. After calculating, we need to recalculate the means of the points. Whenever we reach, for example, the previous cluster value 1, 2 means that nearest value, some 1, 1.5 we getting means we need to stop the process. This is the last step. Nearest values is to be matched with that clusters, we need to stop the process. That is about the K-means clustering algorithm. Now I have taken one example to understand what is K-means algorithm. Let us assume that we are taking 3 clusters. A is having 3 clusters, B is having 3 clusters, and C is having 2 clusters. So we are having 3 clusters, that's why I taken from each and every cluster I taken one point. So from A I taken A1, and from B I taken B1, and C I taken C1. So that initially randomly I choose in the centroid points. Based on that, we need to calculate the distance between the points. So our selected points are 2, 10, 5, 8 and 1, 2. So now this is our x1, y1. These are x2, y2. So 2 minus 2, square root of 2 minus 2 whole square, that is equal to square root of 2 minus 2 whole square plus 10 minus 10 whole square. That is equal to 0. Like this, we are getting these values. All are x1, y1s, and these all are, and here this is x2, y2. And this is also x2, y2. And these all are x1, y1s. So by implementing those all in the distances calculation, and how we are framing these clusters means we are considering, let us assume that this is cluster 1, this is cluster 2, and this is cluster 3. We are taken as an example. So in that row, whatever the cluster is having minimum value, we need to choose cluster number. So here 0 is there, 3 is there, and 8. Out of these 3, this is the minimum value. So that's why this is belongs to cluster 1. Similarly, next one 5, 4, 3. So this is having the minimum value. So this is belongs to cluster 3. Like this, all the clusters we need to place. And then the next step means, next step what we have to do, we need to identify how many 1 clusters are there, how many 2 clusters are there, we need to identify that one, and how many 3 clusters are there. Now we need to calculate the new centroid point for this. So our points, new cluster values are say here 1 cluster is only 1, so that is first value 2, 10. Next one, second cluster, 2 clusters are 2 clusters 3. These all are 2 clusters plus this one. So now we need to combine the first values of these two, 8 plus 5. So that is equal to 8 plus 5 plus 7 plus 6 plus 4 by 5. 12, 19, 25, 29, 30. 30 divided by 5, that is 6. That value we need to write like this. So that value 6. So that value we are taken as 6. Similarly, next rows we need to calculate 5. Next 4 plus 8 plus 5 plus 4 plus the last one 9. So finally that value is also 6. So the pair of value is getting as 6.6. A1 is same as it is. Why? Because 1 will be there in only one row. Here 2's will be there in 5 rows. So that's why we are calculating. Next 3 will be there in the second row and the 7th row. So we need to summarize these two. 2 plus 1 by 2, 1.5. Then 5 plus 2 by 2, 3.5. So that values we are taken, and then we need to calculate the distances. So out of these values we need to calculate here Now these values are x1, y1 values. Now here these values are x2, y2 values. So similarly, we need to calculate and form the new clusters. So how we are getting? So out of these three values, the minimum value is in first cluster. So this is C1, this is C1, C2 and C3 is there. So first cluster. Next, out of these minimum value is in cluster 3. So that's why that is in cluster 3. Like this, we are writing these all the values. Now the obtained values are, the obtained clusters values are this one. So it contains two ones, first row and last row, and next 4 twos again with 2 threes. So again we need to calculate the centroid points. So how we are calculating the centroid points? So 1, 3, this one. So first one, 1 and last. So 2 plus 4 by 2, 6 by 2, 3. Next 10 plus 9 by 2, 19 by 2, 9.5. Similarly B1 value. So B1, 2's are to be there in 4 row. So 8 plus 5 plus 7 plus 6. So 8 plus 5, 12, 19, 25 by 2, 6.5. That is next one, next 4 numbers dividing. Like that we are calculating the distances. Similarly, we have to frame the new clusters based on the minimum value in the given data set. So now our values are 3, 9.5, 6.5, 5.25 and 1.5, 3.5. Now again based on these clusters we need to find out the distances. Now previous cluster values are this one. Now our obtained values after calculating, our obtained values are 3.67, 9. After calculating and summarize those values. Why? Because the one is there in here, this one and this one. We need to summarize these two. 2 plus 5 plus 4, 7, 7 plus 4, 11, 11 by 2. So that 11 by 3, that is 3.67. Next one. So 10 plus 8, 18, 18 plus 4, 9, 27. So 27 by 3, 9. So next values 7 and 4.33 and C1 values also 2 values. Here 2 will be there, here also 2 will be there and 3 will be there here. So we need to summarize those 2 values and finally get the centroid values are these all the values. Now see the previous centroid values are this one and now obtained centroid values are this one. Already given whether the obtained values, previous centroid values and now current centroid values will be nearly equal, we need to stop the process. See here 3 will be there, here 3.67, somewhat near, here 9.5 and here 9, so somewhat near, that's why we need to stop the process. Second values also 6.57 and 5.25 and 4.33. Here 1.5, 1.5 and 3.5, 3.5. So these all the values are nearly same. Now we will stop the process. That is about k-means clustering algorithm. In this what we are doing means it is used to identify the minimum set of values. Whenever they reach with the minimum set of values nearest point, we need to stop the process. That is about k-means clustering algorithm. Second one, it is also another type of partitioning method, that is k-Medoids algorithm. K-Medoids algorithm is also called as PALM algorithm. PALM means partitioning around Medoids algorithm. Now in this what we are doing means, first we need to select k model clusters, Medoids, and then based on that one we need to assign that one into clusters. That means for example I taken k value 3 means assign these 3 with the individual clusters, then we have to recalculate that process until the last end. When they reach with the condition means we will stop the process at that time. So now I will show you one by one. I taken some example here. So in this what we are calculating, the main thing we are calculated is Manhattan distance. Manhattan distance means modulus of x1 minus x2 and modulus of y1 minus y2. These two are the Manhattan distances. Now see here, these are the points we are taken. So these all are the x1, x2 values and these are the xy values. So now we have to take these 2 minus c1 value. x1 minus, so 262, 34, next 262, 38. 262, 34, next 34 to 34. Like that we need to calculate these all C1 and C2 clusters. First point 262, 34. So 262, 34 means 2 minus 3, 1, 6 minus 4, 3. Then 34 to 34. So next we are getting that value 0. Next 34 to 38, that value 4. So 3 minus 3, 0, 4 minus 8, 4. Next 3 minus 4, 1 plus 4 minus 7, 3. So 1 minus 1 plus 3, 4. We are taken this value as the main value and this one will be compared with all the values to get C1. Similarly, we are taken C2 So next we will take another value. So next value I taken as 7, 4. So 7, 4, 7 minus 2, 5 plus 4 minus 6, 2. 5 plus 2, 7. So here I taken the x1, x2, y2 values are 3, 4 and 7, 4. These are the two values I taken. Let us assume that these two values we are taken. Based on that we are calculating this one. C1 is the point I taken as 3, 4 and C2 a point I taken as 7, 4. So this is C1, this is C2. Randomly we are choosing two clusters and based on these two, so 2, 6, 3, 4. Then 3, 4, 3, 4. Next 2, 3, 8, 3, 4. So all the values are to be managed with the 3, 4, that is C1. All the values is managed with the 7, 4. Those all are getting this one. And based on that we need to take out of these two minimum value is C1. So we have to place C1. Then this one C1. And all the values we have to be placed like this clusters. First one, this is cluster 1 and this is cluster 2. So based on these clusters, we need to find out that set of values. Cluster 1 values these are and cluster 2 values these are. Based on that, we need to calculate the total cost for this one. Total cost means the given value 3, 4. 3, 4 is the C1 value. So our C1 value is 3, 4. C2 value is 7, 4. So that's why we will compare all the values of C1 comparable with 3, 4 and C2 will be comparable with 7, 4. So cost of 3, 4, 2, 2, 6, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 4, 7. Next to 7, 4, 6, 2, 7, 4, 6, 4. Like that we need to write all the values. Next, now we need to calculate total cost. How we are calculating? So 3 minus 2 plus 4 minus 6. So 3 minus 2, 1 plus 4 minus 6, 2. So finally the value through. So this value is 3. Like that we are calculating all the cost by using method distance. We are getting the total cost as 20. At the value of 3, 4 and 7, 4, we are getting the total cost as 20. Now we have to do the same process iteratively by taking another value. Now here what I have to take means I will take another value from the set. Previously I taken 7, 4. Now I will take 7, 3, replace with 7, 3 and that will be represented with O, obtained, taken, observable value. Now we will implement 3, 4 and 7, 3 to get all these values. So 3, 4 is for C1, 7, 3 for C2. This is the C1, this is C2 value. So 3, 4 will be comparable with all and then 7, 3 will be comparable with all. And then we are forming C1 and O clusters. Next, the minimum value in this 3, 8, so that value C1. Next one, similarly we need to calculate. So we are already taken the C1 value is 3, 4 and C2 value is 7, 3. So comparable with 7, 3. First one is 3, 4 and second value is comparable with 7, 3 with all the values. Then we need to calculate the cost. So 3 minus 2, 1, 4 minus 6, 2. So 1 plus 2, that value 3. So finally we get the value as 22, that is the total cost value. Now the swapping of C2 with 3. So current total cost minus previous total cost is used to find out whether that cost will be exist. We need to change the values or not. So previous value 20 and now obtained value 22. So 22 minus 20 is greater than 0. That means it is not a good idea to change the value 7, 4 to 7, 3. So compulsory you will choose C1 value as 3, 4, C2 value as 7, 4 only. They will reach with our exact values. So that's why we are stopping the process here. So the changing of 7, 3 is not accepted in this algorithm. This is about Medoids algorithm. These are the partitioning method algorithm. Thank you.
Vishnu Audio Visual Center, like and share and subscribe and click bell icon.